What is going on, guys? My name is Triz, and today we're going to be going over the best things that pros never do in PUBG Mobile. These things are super duper important. We're going to be looking at some of the best PUBG Mobile players in the world, and we're going to be finding out exactly what they do not do in PUBG Mobile that makes them super duper successful players. So anyways, though, before we get to the video, make sure you guys go ahead and drop a like on the video and comment below in the comment section what device you guys play PUBG Mobile on. Even though this is more of like a list of exactly what players never do in PUBG Mobile, this is not in any particular order. Each and every tip I'm about to give you guys is just as valuable as the last one. So it's super duper important you guys pay attention to this video so you guys might learn a thing or two. And even if you guys are an advanced player, sometimes you might need some refreshers. After watching a lot of hours of gameplay of some of the top pro PUBG Mobile players, there's a lot of things you guys need to take notes on. The first thing, of course, is kind of basic, kind of simple, and kind of obvious, is you never want to stand still in PUBG Mobile. If you guys are, of course, standing still, you're always vulnerable to taking shots from any direction. Even though the audio and like the mini-map does show exactly if someone's firing at you, you never want to be too late, because you never know if someone's sneaking up behind you, crouching in a bush, or obviously just aiming down their scope and waiting for you to stand still before they take a shot at you. Of course, you want to always be moving around. Even though it's kind of hard to move around in certain spots, maybe if you're looting, try your best to always be moving. Even if you're in a house, if you guys think you're safe in the top floor of a house, you never know what windows are open. The map is pretty easy, of course, to like the layouts of like buildings, but you never know. There could be a certain crack or just a certain little area that's like split, and you have no idea that people are actually aiming down their sights and waiting for you to stand still. So as I mentioned before, always make sure you guys are always moving around no matter what you guys are doing. Even if you guys are waiting for your teammate to come in a car, don't sit in the car and wait for your teammate to come. Always be walking around and always be moving around until your teammate comes to the vehicle or the buggy or the car to go along with you. Quick challenge alert, you have 5 seconds to hit the like button right now, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. You have 5 seconds to do so, and you guys will actually have better luck getting victories. The next tip, of course, that PUBG Mobile pros never, ever, ever fight below full health. This is obviously, once again, something that a lot of people forget about. A lot of people get confident and someone starts shooting at them. The first instinct for them is to go ahead and start jumping and trying to shoot back and exchange fire. However, though, it's super duper important. Once someone starts shooting at you, even though you want to find out the direction they're at or they're like shooting you at, it's important to take cover. And instead of shooting back at them right away, what you want to do is you want to make sure your health is full or you have a very, very strong health. It's always important to always pop a energy drink or some painkillers right before you guys go into battle, because of course if someone starts firing at you and then you start shooting right back instantly, you are obviously like in a huge disadvantage. PUBG Mobile players never, of course, go into battle below full health, because they never know who, of course, has a full magazine, or if there's other players or teammates that are about to shoot at you too. And they already know where you're at, or what direction you're shooting at, or what you're looking at, so they have an advantage already. It's super important that you, of course, go into the battle in a gunfight with full health. Next on the list, PUBG Mobile pro players never ever leave their weapons unloaded. No matter what gun, whether it's your secondary, your first, or even your like third pistol, you need to make sure that every single gun is loaded. You never know, of course, if you're going to run into a squad or a full squad or 2 players in solos or maybe 2 squads that are duos. You never know how many opponents you're about to be facing. Even though it might seem that you only see 1 player and you quick rush him with 1 gun that's loaded, it's super duper important you check all your weapons to make sure that every single one of them is fully loaded and equipped. Sometimes it's a big mistake that pro PUBG Mobile players make when they pick up a gun and they forget to load it, because when they, of course, are in a gunfight and the player takes cover, of course, if you run out of ammo, you're gonna have to reload it, which is quite cost effective. I mean, it costs you a lot of time, and it can actually cost you guys a death, because if, of course, you go challenge a player or a squad without a full magazine, you're gonna run out of ammo really quickly. And then, of course, once they realize that you are reloading, then the full squad will just go ahead and just push you and rush you, leaving you super duper vulnerable to take elimination. The next tip I always recommend, especially if you guys are, I guess, looking to become a PUBG Mobile pro, is, of course, to never, ever have a messy PUBG Mobile inventory. This is super duper important. A lot of you guys play PUBG Mobile, and whenever you guys loot something and like something's like yellow when you guys loot it, I mean, you're gonna be picking it up automatically, of course, and it's super duper important that even though you pick stuff up automatically, or you just go ahead and loot and grab whatever you guys can take, it is important to loot. I'm not denying that, but I've been noticing a lot of PUBG Mobiles will, of course, make sure that their inventory is super clean. For example, if they only plan on like carrying either sniper or a sub or an AR and a sub or a shotgun, it's super important that you guys release the ammo you guys plan on never picking up again. Say, for example, you have a sniper and you have a nice like, I guess, a submachine gun. It's super duper important that when you plan the rest of your game out and you plan on never picking up a shotgun again, super duper important to release all of the items in your inventory that go along with shotguns. So, like I said before, this keeps a lot of free space open for you to carry more either scopes or more weapons, grenades, like flashbangs, and super important like accessories that will help you guys out in the long run. It's always important to always be upgrading your inventory throughout the match and always be looking forward. Never look back. If you guys pick up 2 good guns, it's super duper important you guys leave all the bad equipment behind so you guys can only look forward from here on out. That's one thing I've always noticed when I see PUBG Mobile pros play PUBG Mobile. This next tip that I've seen from a lot of pro PUBG Mobile players is going to be kind of shocking to a lot of you guys. And that, of course, is to not always pick up a sniper rifle. Even though you might be like, why wouldn't you pick up a sniper rifle? Why wouldn't you want to use that sniper rifle? It's important to understand your play style. You have to understand, especially if you're in like a competitive match or you're trying to get a chicken dinner for PUBG Mobile, it is almost best for you to pick the guns you feel the most comfortable with. A lot of people are not good snipers. A lot of people want to be good snipers and they think they're good snipers, but in reality, they're not good snipers. And it's important to be a team player at all times. If you run across a sniper and you guys know you're not a good sniper, you guys don't have a good shot with it, then of course it's always important to either pass up the sniper or let one of your teammates pick it up. And if you want to be super duper sneaky as well, you can always pick up the sniper even if you plan on not using it, and then of course dropping it in like water or dropping it in like a really hidden bush or something like that, just so no other player or no other enemy can actually find it. I mean, a lot of people think that's kind of underrated, and I mean, people don't really see the advantage of it. But personally, if you ever find like an OP weapon that you don't personally like or you don't like to have, well, make sure people don't use it against you, and you can always pick it up and then throw it somewhere, hide it, and then pick up your old weapon, of course. So it's always important, like I said before, know your teammates, know what guns they like, and move snipers to good sniper players. Don't try using a gun you're not good at using. I've seen this a lot, especially when I see like PUBG Mobile clan battles. A lot of people actually move around weapons to the strongest player. So if you have a strong sniper, always make sure your strong sniper on your team is equipped with a sniper. It makes sense, right? My next tip I have for you guys, of course, PUBG Mobile Pro is always know the type of weapon and they utilize it for the best specifics. What I mean by this is a lot of people use ARs, and a lot of people encourage people to use ARs with single shots, including myself. If, of course, you have a decent shot and you want to use the AR at a long range, it's super important you guys switch to single shots. A lot of people don't utilize this feature, and it's super nice that PUBG Mobile enables us to actually use either full auto or single shots or burst fire. It's important that you guys use these single shots for long distances with the AR. If, of course, you only have an AR, you don't have a sub or a shotgun, and you're looting buildings, maybe put it to auto if you guys think you might have some like close quarter battles, just because you never know who's around the corner. But I always recommend you guys always use an AR with a single shot, especially if you guys are looting or just, I guess, traveling in far distances in the forest or the jungles. I mean, it's super duper important that you guys, of course, have the best aim, best accuracy as possible. When you're shooting an AR with full auto, the grip on it is really hard, especially if you can't find a grip, which are kind of hard to find, if you guys know what I mean. But a lot of people don't actually utilize the single shot fire on the AR, and I think it's super underrated. Make sure you guys switch to that. I've seen a lot of pros use the single shots on the AR, and when you guys are up close and you don't have a sub or a shotgun, switch to auto, because you can just turn the corner and just like shoot close range. But any far range shots, make sure you guys are on single shot and you can just spam and have a nice trigger finger. This next tip is very, I guess, easy to remember, but a lot of people don't utilize it. That, of course, is using buggies and vehicles. So a lot of you guys, of course, know you guys want to get into vehicles, want to travel and try to escape the storm. If you guys are trying to travel at large distances, I highly recommend you guys use cars for it. Even though, I mean, you were really loud and traveling across the world or the map, it is super important you guys always pick up a vehicle if you guys plan on traveling long distances. If you're going to travel like very short distances, obviously just go ahead and walk and don't utilize it. But one of the most underrated things that I've seen a lot of pros use cars and vehicles with PUBG Mobile is, of course, utilizing these cars and vehicles during the last few circles, especially when the game is getting very close and intense. What I mean by this is a lot of people, a lot of pro PUBG Mobile players will end up going ahead and using cars as cover, and they actually end up driving the cars in the middle of the circle or whatever they plan on positioning themselves, and they'll actually blow up the car, so the car is actually completely destroyed. But the car, of course, still stays there. So they end up using the car as cover in the middle of the open area or the middle of the field. And what's kind of crazy is you can actually find some PUBG Mobile pros carry a few cars or like 2 buggies, and they can almost make a little fort out of themselves, which is super duper underutilized. A lot of people don't use this strategy, but whenever you guys have the chance and the opportunity to use it in like a squad match, I highly recommend it, because when it comes to the last few circles, the only like cover you really have are, of course, like trees and random buildings. But if you're in the middle of the fields and there's really nothing left, you can always utilize cars and vehicles, explode them, use them as cover, and you can even smoke them out, so it's super duper easy for you guys to like snipe or use AR to get around your opponent. So that's, of course, super duper underrated. A lot of people don't understand, and they misuse vehicles only for travel when they can actually be used as cover as well. And finally, something I've always seen PUBG Mobile pros do, and they always, I guess, never do this, is like my biggest thing that a lot of people don't do. And it's super simple, super easy, and I can promise you guys will improve and maybe get a few extra kills in PUBG Mobile. That is, of course, closing doors after you guys walk into them. A lot of people loot buildings, a lot of people loot little towns, and they'll keep doors open. Well, if you guys happen to be in a town that's pretty busy, make sure you guys go ahead, get inside a building, and then close the door that you just walked through. A lot of people that actually enter these doors that are closed, they never expect to see other teams and other players in these buildings, keeping it a huge surprise when they open the door and you can hear the door open, and then you just get absolutely sprayed down. So never ever leave a door open after you walk through it. Always close it. Not only can you use it for an advantage for people to actually, so you can actually hear it open when people walk through it, but a lot of people won't suspect you to be inside the building that of course has closed doors. So with that being said, make sure you guys always utilize the area around you and always know what doors are open and what doors are closed, just so when you guys are actually using, when the door opens, like the sound that opens the door, you guys know exactly which direction your opponent is coming from, and you can already have an aim down sight when they will just be like looking for loot, of course. So that is super duper important for me. Anyways though, these are just some of the tips I want to give you guys after watching a lot of gameplay of PUBG Mobile Pros. These are some of my favorite tips I wanted to share with you guys. A lot of people that actually play this game don't even know about that stuff yet. If you guys knew about these, let me know. Just say yes or no. And also to you guys, make sure you guys add me as a friend on PUBG Mobile. I'm always down to play with more people. I'm always trying to get better at PUBG Mobile. So if you guys have any other tips, make sure you guys go ahead and comment them down in the comment section too. But regardless though, my name is Triz. I hope you guys have a great day. Until next time, stay true. Peace out. Bye.